Hey everybody, hope that you're doing well. Wanted to give y'all an update on things that have been happening in the last few weeks, so make it a quick video. I am officially 2 months on testosterone, so that's pretty cool. I started March 30th, and so now we're beginning of June, so I passed my 2 month mark last week. And so far things are going pretty well. No major negative things to report, a few things to get used to, but nothing that is impossible to deal with. So I thought I'd just do a 2 month mark on both positives and negatives and kind of just give you an update on how things are going for me. Um, so let's see. Let's start with the challenges first, just because I think it's kind of interesting, and I want to talk about some of the things I don't hear about so much on here, like some of the emotional changes. Um, so I have had first started out at 50 milligrams, now I'm on 75. What I notice is when my dose changes, that for the first couple of days after I get a shot, I feel really speedy. And it's kind of like my brain won't stop. I just keep thinking about things. And it's like, it's hard for me to focus. I'll be doing one thing, and then my brain's like, "Ooh, go over here." I'm kind of like a puppy, in a way. I'm like easily distracted. So I have to really watch myself with that, and I have to learn ways to cope. So something that definitely helps is exercise, and taking a break from what I'm doing and just going for a walk, or something like that, to kind of refocus my brain. Um, and I noticed this speedy feeling after my shot last Tuesday, when it was up to 75 milligrams. When I first started T, I had this kind of speedy effect for the first couple of shots, and then I think my body got used to it. So I'm hoping that will happen this time after I get a couple of shots at the increased dose. Perhaps the speedy stuff will go away. Um, my thought is, this could be a good indication just to maybe go with lower dosing every week. So after I get through with 6 weeks on 75 milligrams, like my doctor wanted to try, maybe going to 50 milligrams every 2 weeks, and try it that way and see what happens. So I'm certainly trying to just find the best combination for me and see what works right at this moment. So it's kind of a, I don't know, trying to kind of a trial and error situation right now. Um, Other things emotionally to talk about is I've certainly noticed, more so with this last shot, kind of my tolerance and patience for things that irritate me is definitely going down. So I'm really having to work on that, because I don't want to become, a jerk about things, and I still want to, be steady and take things and, process it in a, I don't know, a thoughtful way. So I'm noticing myself getting more irritated quickly, and I'm just having to stop and go, okay, why is this bugging me? What can I do in this situation, and kind of take a step back. And I think that leads to the maybe a little bit more of the detached feelings. There was a period like a week ago where I was really frustrated. I was really, I don't know if I was angry, but just, pretty cranky about something. And I just thought, I just need to be quiet and get the heck out of here for a little bit and go for a walk. And I think, I've said that before, with people before I started T, and that was okay. But now that I've started T, people are like, oh, that just means the T's doing its job, and, you've got to kind of detach yourself from the situation and deal with it internally. Otherwise, you're going to do something inappropriate, you're going to explode or something. So that was kind of an interesting result to get, but it is helpful for me to remove myself from the situation and go for a walk if I can. So that's some of the kind of challenging things, just the physical reactions to tea, and the emotional ones. Sorry, my cat is running. See her in the background. So sometimes my cats are crazy. They just have like little, races for no reason, and they chase things that aren't there. And I don't know. I'm pretty convinced that they're crazy. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to give you kind of an update on that. So let's talk a little bit about some more of the emotional stuff. I also wanted to say that I don't really cry much. I was never a crier before I started T, but I'm certainly not now. And I think it goes back to that kind of detached feeling. But I'm also noticing that my patience for folks when they are kind of emotional is kind of dwindling. And it doesn't happen very often, but my partner is the kind of person that if she gets stressed kind of to her limits, her reaction is to cry. And you know, that happened yesterday because she's just going through a crazy time at work and lots of deadlines, several deadlines happening on the same day, and I think her tolerance level just kind of, you know, she hit her max. And I'm trying to be supportive of her and see what I can do to help her. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, why are you crying about this? It's so not worth this. But I can't say that because that's a certain recipe for getting me in the doghouse. So it's like, again, my kind of gut reaction is, oh my God, why are you crying? But inside, I have to be supportive and kind of, you know, suppress that, you know, why is it worth all this feeling? And then, you know, be supportive of her. So it just kind of moving and changing my worldview of things, which is interesting to say the least. So yeah, that's the challenging stuff that's going around. Let's talk about the positive stuff. So changes in the last couple of months. A little more muscle mass. I have been working out quite a bit. I actually joined 24 Hour Fitness last week for May. They were having this deal here in California where you could, maybe it's everywhere, for $29 a month, no introductory fee, and that was it. And so you could go to any 24 Hour Fitness, so that was pretty cool. So a friend and I did that, and we've been going religiously every day and doing an hour of cardio, and then 3 days a week doing strength training and doing lifting. So that's super cool. I've really been enjoying that. And I think for the first time, really enjoying the gym and, you know, really looking forward to it being a good stress reliever. So I have noticed some muscle mass, you know, improvements. I've also noticed a little bit of body shape, you know, kind of switching around. My shoulders are broader. Other things to report on team, my voice has dropped a tiny bit. It was really kind of cracking this last weekend, and it was funny because I was out with a friend, and she was making fun of me because it was like I was talking and I was squeaky. But yeah, it's still, you know, settling. I've only been on T for 2 months, so we shall see what happens. My cats are still doing their thing. So yeah, pay no attention to the furry beasties in the background. So yeah, the voice has been changing. Other things, just a little more furry for me. I'm starting to get more hair on my stomach, which is interesting because I never had that before. And there's just all these little hairs spreading about everywhere, and I'm like, wow, if this keeps going, and I'm only at 2 months, you know, what's it going to be like in a few months more or a year? I may end up being a furry bear for all I know. So we'll see what happens with that. I've always been furry on my calves. I've always been really hairy, and now that's starting to go up to my knees and kind of up, you know, on my thighs. So definitely the hair is moving around a little bit. So more hair growth. I have more peach fuzz here, and it's something that it's not real heavy, but I think the peach fuzz I have is longer. And what happens in a certain light, it kind of catches it and it shows up. So what I did is I shaved it because if the light catches it, it was looking a little scraggly. I didn't, however, I didn't shave off anything here. I do have a little bit coming in. It's a tiny bit darker. I have like one actual whisker, which is exciting. I decided to name it Fred. So yeah. And if I get another one, I'll name it Ginger, because, you know, gender equality is good. So yeah, so that's kind of what's happening. Really happy being on T, just dealing with some of the emotional changes. Some other things that are happening with my work, I've had to give some presentations in the last week, and it's actually been really busy. And because of these presentations, I've been meeting folks kind of from my past that worked with me a few years ago. And so I have to educate them about what's going on because, you know, their first inclination is to use she, even though I certainly don't present that way. So, you know, so far everybody's taken that okay, and it hasn't been a big shock to anyone, but it's still that continual process of telling folks and getting people on the right gender, you know, pronouns and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of an update for now. Lots of things to talk about, I guess, for my 2-month mark. So I'm going to stop this video and see what the heck my cats are up to, and I will catch you later. Have a good day.